Hi everyone, welcome back on Study Room. So, in this video, the next theme that we will be covering is basically hunger in India. What do you understand by this word hunger? Um, we all crave for different things. For example, if you're craving for a pizza, okay, let's assume that from past 3 to 5 days you're craving for pizza, and you wanted to have just a slice of pizza. Do you think that can be hunger? And this kind of hunger can be problematic in our country? No, that's not how we measure hunger in India. Let's study what big of a problem hunger is, especially in our country. Okay, hunger in India. Firstly, hunger has chronic and seasonal dimensions. Chronic means it's a long term. Okay, it's a long term problem. It's not something that has recently generated. It is not something that will end any near soon. It is a long term problem. It has a chronic dimension, and it has seasonal dimension as well. As we have studied, for 4 to 5 months there is no work on the agriculture field. What a farmer will do at that time, what they will do at that time, so that hunger, when they are unemployed in 4 to 5 months, when they do not have proper employment and proper food, so that hunger leads to a seasonal dimension, right? There will be plenty of food with them when the crop is sown, right? So that's why hunger has majorly two dimension. One is chronic and other one is seasonal. Okay. Now, there are two major things that can be done to eliminate food security. One is elimination of current hunger. Okay. To attain food security, these are two things that we have to do. One, uh, elimination of current hunger. Okay. Elimination of current hunger means that people, no people should sleep hungry. Okay, so there should not be a single person in our country that have to sleep hungry. But unfortunately, the ratio of such people are very high in our country, right? So food security can only be attained first if we completely eliminate hunger from our society. Second, make sure that future generation has food. Okay, that future generation has food. That is prevention of future hunger. Okay, at that, making sure that people, coming generation have food. Okay, so what pattern can be followed for this? We call it as sustainable development. Okay, a sustainable development is when we make sure, when we use the resources considering the need of future generation. All right, so this is the major way to understand hunger. First, it's chronic and seasonal. Second, we can attain food security to eliminate current hunger and prevent prevention of future hunger. All right, now, let's talk in numbers. What are the percentage of household with hunger? Means how many people in India or how many families in India do actually sleep hungry? Okay. So in 1993, we're talking about rural areas. 1983, it was total 18.5%, and by 1999 to 2000, it has just been 3.3%. Okay. Well, otherwise in urban areas, it is 6.4%, and till 2000, it has reduced to 0.9%. So I hope you can see the downfall in numbers, which is really good, because it shows that people are now being treated well. Now, what are the ways? What are the steps that has been taken to basically eradicate hunger in our country? Okay, so most important thing is self sufficiency. If we are not self sufficient, we might have to rely to other countries to give us or to provide us resources all the time. But the very best thing that has happened with India post independence, means after independence, is that India has become self sufficient in food grains. Means that we don't have to ask any other country for any kind of food supply. Okay, this was due to all the revolution that has been taken place, green revolution, white revolution. Okay, because due to that revolution our production has been increased. So our former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, she has released a wheat revolution stamp. A wheat revolution stamp was released in 1980, 1968, and this kind of this was the stamp you're talking about. As we can see wheat here. Okay, so it denotes wheat revolution. Okay, basically this was made to record the achievement of green revolution. Okay, and what was the record of green revolution? As we can see in 1951 our graph of producing was low, but till 1968 it has reached to a high point. All right, so what basically happened was in green revolution, I'm sure you all must aware about it as we have discussed earlier, but majorly it was a spike in wheat and rice production in India. Okay, in some regions like Punjab, West Bengal. Okay, in these areas wheat and rice production was made in very huge quantity due to the wheat revolution. Okay, so that's how we become self sufficient. Okay, we do not have to ask any other country for food. We do not have to not rely on any other country. Okay. Yes. Now, if there are positive sides, there are definitely a negative consequence as well. So now we will. So now we will understand what are the negative consequences, or you can say drawbacks of green revolution. Okay. Firstly, first it was not equal growth. Means green revolution has affected just very few countries. It was not that few states, I'm sorry, it was not that green revolution was as successful as it was in Punjab in all other states. This was not the case. Okay, if the if there was production was high in Punjab, so the production did not take much spike in, let's take example of MP. Okay, so again, so there was not equal growth due to green revolution. This was the first drawback. Okay, second drawback is loss of fertility. I'm sorry. Yes, second is loss of fertility. Okay, loss of fertility is because of excessive use of chemicals and fertilizers that has been used in growing crops. So the soil becomes very alkaline, and it become unfit. Okay, unfit is the word. It become unfit for the cultivation, for future cultivation. So soil was slowly losing its fertility. Right. This was our second point. Next, yes, next we had third point, we have water problems. Okay, now we have we face two kind of water problems. First, it was groundwater. Okay, it was underground water that was because of the excessive use of water from tube wells, the groundwater level was decreasing. Okay, it was going down. It was decreasing. Okay, and second was pollution due to again chemicals and excessive use of chemicals and fertilizers. The water level was being polluted. The water was underground water was being polluted. Okay, so this was the water problems, two different dimensions of water problems that we have faced. These were the major drawbacks or problems with green revolution, right? Next, we'll move to food security in India. Now, we all know that India has become self-sufficient in food grains during last 30 years. Means after independence, uh, we have become self-sufficient, as we call it in Hindi, Atmanirbhar, that we don't have to ask any other country for any kind of food. We can sustain ourselves. But how it has happened? What are the reasons that our food security system are now becoming better? Okay, so let's understand that the food security system has two major components. We'll study each one of them in detail. First is buffer stock, second is public distribution system. Okay, so what are the reason of food security system? Buffer stock and public distribution system. But before digging into that completely, so first we'll understand. Now, here is an activity for you. The data has been given to you. You'll have to answer the following questions. First one is, in which decade did India experience the highest decadal increase in production? So, in which decade the India has experienced highest decadal increase in production? Okay, so here you have given food production in million, as in million tons. Right. Oh, so okay. So decadal means 10 years. So let's find out. Okay, so we see graph being high over here and graph being little low from here. So we can call it from after 2009 to 19. 2009 to 19 is the decade where the food production is high. Okay, second, is production increase consistent in India since 2000 and 2001? Okay, let's find out. So since 2000 or 2001, do you think the food graph has been consistent? Yes, we can see that almost there has been not major difference in numbers. So yes, the production is has been consistent in India since 2000 and 2001. Okay. Now let's come to understand the two very important points, two very important components of food security, which is one, buffer stock. Buffer stock, buffer means surplus, means extra. Okay, so buffer stock means having surplus food grains, okay, that is being produced at minimum support price, MSP, minimum support price. It's set by the government, by Food Corporation of India, FCI, which is government or administration. Okay, so buffer stock is having surplus stock then required to our people. Okay, and this was produced by MSP, which is provided by the government and also set by the government. You must have heard people saying MSP is too low, MSP is too high. Okay, MSP is basically minimum support price, or a standard price that has been set by government that they give to farmer who produce a particular grain. All right, so that is MSP. Okay, for example, just an example, for example, government has set 10 rupees per kg to rice. Okay, so for every farmer who will give rice per kg, he will get 10 rupees. All right, so yeah, that is buffer stock. Second is public distribution system. Now there are three major type of ration cards. Public distribution system means it at subsidized rate or subsidized uh, cards. So basically, policies have been made under public distribution system to ensure food security. Okay, to ensure food security. Now there are three type of ration cards which come under public distribution system, which is Antyodaya card, BPL card, and APL card. Let's understand the difference between these three cards. Now, first is Antyodaya card. Antyodaya card is basically given to impoverished families, means the families who do not have stable income and holds people who are unemployed in the family, means they can be men, women, or old people or children in the family, okay, who are unemployed for some reason, or people who have some kind of disorder or disability, okay. So, people holding Antyodaya card are basically identified by the state government, okay, and the food that has been given to them will be given to them at subsidized price, which is rupees 2 or rupees 3 per kg for wheat, sugar, for all the basic and staple foods. Okay, and people holding Antyodaya card get 35 kg of food per month. Okay, next we have BPL card. Okay, BPL card is below poverty line. Okay, so again, very literal from the name, BPL means people who are below poverty line. So people who are below poverty line are the people who are only eligible for this card, and they get specified a quantity that has been set by, again, state government. So it's differ from each state, and they get 10 to 20 kg per month, and they also get other kind of staple food at 50% less economic cost. Okay, so if the price in the market is 20 rupees, they pay approx 10 rupees for it. Okay, next is APL card, which is above poverty line. Okay, above poverty line are the people who gets 10 to 20 kgs per month. Their average is 10 to 20 kgs, and they have to pay 100% economic cost for it. If the government has set the price for 20 rupees, so they'll have to pay 20 rupees. There is no subsidized rates for people above poverty line. But there are few items that are very basic and needful for everybody. So government has fixed their subsidized rate, and basically how we go and take groceries, right? We give 100% economic cost, but there are few items that on which we also get discount. Okay, for example, rice, wheat, sugar. These are, they have very subsidized rates set by the government for all the people. Okay, so that's how public distribution system works. Segregation in terms of cards. Okay, you can also see segregation in terms of colors as well to identify. Okay, as per the economic background. So that's how distribution thing work. Now here is an interesting activity for you. You have to visit your nearest ration shop, where you get, your grocery stuff, and get the following details. Find out the following details. Okay, ration shop is what it's a government shop. Okay, it's not where might you get your grocery from. It is the government based ration shop. Okay, when does the ration shop open? What are the timings and the dates that it open? What are the items that has been sold in ration shop? Okay, items that are available there. Now compare the price of rice and sugar from ration shop and with any other grocery shop, or maybe where you get it from. Okay, so compare their prices and you will see the massive difference in prices, because the kind of people who avails from ration shop are the people who comes under below poverty line or economic backward people. All right, so now find out, do you have a ration card, and if yes, what kind of card do you have, and what item your family has recently bought with this card. Now, our government has played a very crucial role in sustaining and improving the conditions of food security in our country. So this has happened majorly three interventions. Three interventions are basically three successful projects that has been done by government in 1970s. Okay, so these three interventions are: first, public distribution system, which have different uh, types of ration card that we have just studied. Okay, APL, BPL, and Antyodaya card. Okay, and there are other cards as well. So second is integrated child development services. Integrated child development services 1975. This has worked on child's nutrition. Okay, child's nutrition. Okay, child's nutrition, and make sure that the child get enough ingredients and enough nutrition that is required in his body. Okay, so for that, government has started few activities under it, which we call, there's some of them are midday meals, right? Midday meals was also one of the way to attract children to get into schools. In this way they can also get food. Okay, so midday meal is again one of the most successful events where children used to get food in their break by the government. Okay, so they go to school and study, and when there is recess, of course, these are the people who cannot afford having luxury lunches like us. So they get midday meal by the government. Okay, government provide a different kind of nutritious food to them. Okay, and it has been deferred uh, under uh, you know um, government has also opened Anganwadi schools, which are basically play school for them, and in those schools, government has provided midday meals to them. Okay. Third is food for work. Food for work was established in 1978, and this was majorly for the laborers. Okay, this was majorly for the laborers, that people who work as labor under government or with government, so they'll get food in return. Okay, so there's also like employment for them. Okay, also employment, and they get food from this as well. So these three interventions has made a major role in ensuring the food security in our country. Public distribution, integrated child development services, because of course children are the youth of the country. They are need to be taken care of. Third is food for work. So I hope you understand now what is hunger and what measures and steps have been taken to improve it.